Good day, guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, please do not forget to like and subscribe. My name is Ademola Badmus, and I've started a series on automation of Flutter applications. So, if this is your first time, once again, do not forget to like and subscribe. So, in this video, what we'll be trying to do essentially is try to create a project for the first time. So we are going to get started. In the previous videos, we have been able to establish some connections with the Flutter application by introducing the Flutter driver and also introducing a method to enable us use Flutter extensions, Flutter driver extensions as well. And we've been able to create our iOS app and APK. So now we want to create our project where we are going to be running the test. So let us get right to it. So to start this, what we need to do basically is find a suitable location for what we want to do. So I will go back to CD. I'll go back one step and go back a further step, CD. So I'm now in classes, so I can make a directory for Flutter classes, Flutter classes, right? So with this, I can change directory into this. So it means I am now inside Flutter classes. So I can open a VS Code inside it, inside Flutter classes. Wonderful. So I have this. Now I can begin the magic. So I will open another terminal here. And what I will do immediately is create a package.json file by using the npm init file. Now, if I use the npm init, it means that I want to make some configurations about what the package.json file would look like. But because I want to just make it on the fly, I will just add the flag y. So it means it will just automatically pick the default configuration of the package.json and create the package.json immediately. So why do I need a package.json? I've explained this in my previous videos regarding Cypress, but let me just mention again. The package.json file allows me to create like a blueprint of what is needed to run my test. In fact, in terms of the commands, that's the script object, or in terms of what is needed to, what will be required to be installed in terms of the dependencies and the dev dependencies objects that will be in the package.json file. So because I want to make sure that I stick to my word and we do this in the minimum time possible, I will just use the flag y. I could decide to just go through npm init and I begin to answer some questions. Then at the end of it all, it can say I'll be asked if I'm okay with it, then I'll click I'll type yes. Once I type yes, it accepts that, but if I say no, it starts all over again. But like I said, I can just do npm with a flag y and it automatically creates what I need, package.json. So once the package.json is created, every other thing I want to install now, I will install them as dev dependencies. Why do I want to install them as dev dependencies? I want to make sure that my code is portable. That means if my code is shipped to any device or any platform, all they just need to do is probably run npm install. They would have everything I have, and they would have all the dependencies that is required inside the node module package that will run the whole file for them. So that's why I want to do that. So the first thing I would install them together in a dev dependency. I can do npm install. The different ways of writing the npm install has been discussed in my previous video in Cypress. So please, if you are interested in Cypress or you want to learn about how to do the npm install, please refer to that video. So I'll just do npm -d, which stands for npm install save dev, save dev, save dev. So I will install Appium. I'll install Appium first. Then once I'm done with Appium, as you can see, immediately I started installing a node modules was created. A node module directory was created, and package.json was also created, and the lock.json file was created. The lock.json file can also be used to install later on by just running npm ci. So it uses the package lock.json to install. Then the next thing I will install now is npm. I can actually install them at a go, but I want to make sure that I do not have any glitches. So I would install this separately. And yes, it is being installed right now. And after that, I would install the Appium Flutter driver and the Appium Flutter Finder. I had explained what they will be useful for before this time, but I can just quickly touch on it again. They would work on that virtual machine, so they can layer on it, they can leverage on that virtual machine to be able to run Appium commands, interact with all the elements, and work as if it's just a traditional Appium testing app. So the next one I will install now is npm, also as save dev, Appium Flutter Finder, and Appium, sorry about that, Flutter driver. So I can install them together. I just need to put a space in between them. Like I said, I want to make sure that this works as fast as possible. So what's the problem? Appium from the root projects, what's that? I should have let me uninstall Appium and install those. I think I should have just installed them before Appium. Okay, so now let me install these ones. It's the WebDriver I should have even uninstalled, but this shouldn't be a showstopper. Yes, almost done. And if this now happens while I'm trying to install Appium as well, then all I'll just do is uninstall the WebDriver CLI and install Appium, then install the WebDriver CLI. So I will do it in that order. So let me try to install Appium back. So if I have issues with it, okay, it is overriding something. Oh yeah, good. So that is okay now. So now that I've done this, I can clear this and set up the rest. But what I just need to set up right now is a WebDriver config file. With the WebDriver config file, I can set up my capabilities, my desired capabilities, my run configuration, and my test configurations inside just one single file. And if you're used to testing Appium before, where you need to be setting your desired capabilities inside the same script, or probably create a runner when you're using a page object model, where you have to create a runner file where you have to have your desired capabilities and reference them later, you will not need to do that in WebDriver IO. You just have it in the config file. So in order to do that, you run the command npx WebDriver IO config and you hit enter. So it begins to ask you some questions. For now, we are doing everything on our local machine. So I'll pick local machine, And which framework do I want? I like Mocha, so I can use the describe and it blocks. So I do not need an interpreter. I can just use JavaScript fine. So I will not pick TypeScript. So I'll click no. So where are my tests located? I would like it to be located in that particular structure. So I will leave it that way. Then do I want WebDriver IO to auto generate web test files? Yes. So I will just edit what is there, remove what is there, then use it for our own purpose. So it would essentially help us create a folder structure on what our script should look like, right? So I will just pick yes here, so it can auto create it for us. So do I want this page object? No, I do not want this page object. Then which reporter do I want? I can leave it as spec. Or if you have a preferred reporter, you can come pick your preferred reporter. People use Mocha Awesome a lot, but I'm fine with spec. So I do not need any one of this. So I will just click enter again and skip it. I don't need a Chrome driver right now, so I'll click space bar. Once I click the space bar, it will deselect Chrome driver. So I can come down and pick Appium because that is the service that I need. And I'll click the space bar again to select Appium, then click enter to pass it in. So I'll leave the base URL as it is. So I will not touch that. And I click enter. Then it asks me if it should run npm install. Yes, because it will run it will install some new stuff for us. But these things will be installed automatically into the dev dependencies object. So I'm going to click yes and click enter, and the installation will begin. And once that is done, we have been able to successfully set up our files. So these are the things that it will install: the local runner, the Mocha framework, the spec reporter, and the Appium service. Okay, so once we've been able to do this, we've set it up, and that will mean that in the next video we will be making more moves. Yes, as you can see, everything is done, and the config file has been created. And as you can see, we also have it has told us how we are going to run this, right? So as the last action here, because we want to run it on an Android file, and also we want to run it on an Android emulator and also on the iOS simulator. So I'm going to make a copy of this, and I'm going to paste it here. Then I'll rename it. So I'll rename both of them. This would become WebDriver iOS dot config js, while this will become Android config file. So in the next video, we are going to edit this configuration file and talk a bit about what we are inserting into it. Okay, and well, we'll just come about code cleanup later, but we'll just make some configurations and have that done. If you have gotten this far with me, thank you so much, and please do not forget to like and subscribe. Thank you once again, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.